You are listening to Nerd Best Friends, a podcast that covers the nerdy conversations you're already having, or wish you could. It's the nerdiest thing you'll do this week.
This is Analese.
This is Rob.
And we are your nerd best friends.
It's fall. It's Halloween. Let's get spooky. This is Nerd Best Friends, where we celebrate the conversations you're already having or wish you were. We're your nerdy companions on a quest through cosplay, comics, D&D, pop culture chaos, and all things wonderfully weird. If you're loving the ride, hit subscribe, follow, or share this episode with your fellow nerds, because the algorithm needs a little nudge from the nerd herd. Let's make Season 5 our nerdiest adventure yet.
This is episode 80. We're getting spooky. It's Halloween. How's it going, Rob?
My gosh, it's going great. Episode 80. Whew. I don't know what else to say. The number caught me off guard. I don't know why.
I mean, we realistically have well over 100 episodes. We have somewhere 120, 130 episodes. However, we didn't count our bonus episodes for Patreon subscribers as a number. And we had at least one summer where we didn't do a number. We didn't assign an episode number to the summer special. So
yeah.
Correct. So technically we're well over 100, but we will hit official 100 in this season in just a few short weeks.
So I am doing pretty good. It's Halloween week. I don't know if I'm doing as good as you. You are decked out. You're ready to go.
I love Halloween. I love the fall, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, talk nerdy to me. Okay, Rob, in the spirit of Halloween, talk nerdy to me. What is your favorite costume that you've ever worn in your life?
I'm not sure why this is my favorite costume. I'm not a big costume person. I think I stopped wearing Halloween costumes pretty early on. Like, I don't think I wore costumes past 10, right? Because once I got to like junior high, 6th grade, I'm like, oh no, I don't want people to like make fun of me. I'm too worried about things, and stuff like that. But one that sticks out is probably 88, maybe 89. No, okay. It would have been earlier than that because it was right around there. It was when the Dodgers were in the 1988 World Series, I think. And my Halloween costume was Fernando Valenzuela.
Yes.
It was the coolest. So I'm pretty sure it was 88 because I was dressed as Fernando Valenzuela. And my good friend at the time was dressed as Oral Hershiser. We both had the baseball pants and the blue sneakers and the jerseys with one said Valenzuela, one had Hershiser. We were the Dodgers pitchers that year. And I remember just thinking that was the coolest because he was my favorite player and they were doing all good. It was October, so they were going to the World Series like it was in the playoffs. Absolutely loved it. That's going to be my favorite one was Fernando Valenzuela in 1988.
Are you telling me like as a teacher or as an adult, you didn't do any costumes?
Okay.
Like going trick-or-treating with Andrew?
Never. I have never taken Andrew trick-or-treating in my entire life. Maria always did it. And she was like friends with the neighborhood moms and they would go as a group and they would do the thing. I never went at all. I actually, for whatever reason, have this big hang up about Halloween. I don't like it. It is my least favorite holiday. Maybe Valentine's Day is my least favorite one, but I hate Halloween. So we are diametrically opposed. Now, I will tell you, since you asked, one year as a teacher, I was forced to dress up for Halloween.
Okay.
So myself, my teaching partner, and listener Juliana, who also worked in our classrooms, we dressed up as bacon and eggs. We dressed up as bacon and eggs and Tabasco sauce. So my contribution to this, because I was bitter about it, was very minimal. I will get a white t-shirt and I will glue a yellow circle to it. And I will be an egg.
And it says
that is
eggs.
I didn't even say egg. It was just a white t-shirt with a circle on it. But standing next to the person in the giant bacon costume, like one of those foam like bacon slip-on costumes, and same thing, foam Tabasco sauce costume, it was clear that it was an egg. I hated it. We took a picture, of course, because you got to take a picture. And I just have a look on my face that's like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. I'm an adult man. And that picture got put on the website. So like, if you picture like a website, there's like a carousel of pictures that's always going around on the top. That picture is still on that school website 10 years later.
That's what you get. That's funny. So as a
It
child,
sucks.
it was Oral Hershiser and Fernando Valenzuela, and then as an adult, you loved being the eggs and the breakfast themed
sandwich
costumes.
Like,
that's funny. Wow.
Annalise, what was your favorite Halloween costume?
I don't know why I love Halloween. I actually never liked trick-or-treating within itself. It was always exciting to get free candy as a kid, but I don't know. I didn't get the big deal about it. I still don't get the big deal about it. But man, I love the idea of costumes and coming up with themes and things like that. I don't know that I have a favorite as a child. What I will tell you is like I've always had kind of a funky body size. Whether I was kind of chunky as a kid, but I was always short. So like when you go to and then also I don't like the term, but I guess the common term would be that I'm more masculine presenting. So any costumes for girls were always like frilly and dresses and princesses. And even as when we were kids in the 80s, it was all that. And I never really liked any of that. But then I couldn't ever get any of the boys' costumes. So I always struggled with costumes, but I still had fun trying to think things through. One year when I was in 6th grade, and I hated it. I can remember like I didn't want to do it, but
Yep.
My Nina had sewn together this clown costume. And I'm like, whatever, I've got to take my little brother and sister to the rec center around the corner. They were doing something special for Halloween. So I dressed up and I ended up winning this big giant trophy for best costume. And so I have a Polaroid of me holding this big giant trophy. And so that's a fond memory, even though I was like, even in the picture, I wasn't smiling because I'm like, I'm dressed as a big giant clown. It's also very creepy Polaroid, by the way. It's pretty cool now that as I'm adult looking back on it.
It's all grainy and you're a creepy clown. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think some of my love for Halloween comes from my Nina because my Nina loved Halloween so much. She loved Halloween in every way you could possibly imagine. We always had Halloween parties and bobbing for apples. A lot of that happened before you and I met because by the time I was in high school and my cousins were a little bit older, it kind of went away. But she always made a really big deal about Halloween and dressed up into scary costumes and little haunted house in the backyard. Lots of very fun Halloween memories. But the costume I remember the most is that Polaroid and that big giant trophy for winning best costume at the Harding Rec Center back in that would have been maybe also about 88 or so, maybe 88 or 89.
Do you have a worst?
I have a worst. I'm also going to say, like, my school right now has a lot of fun for Halloween. My favorite Halloween costume as an adult was a couple years ago where the theme for the staff was literary characters.
Nice.
And so the front office building went with children's books, and I dressed as, not Willy Wonka, Waldo from Where's Waldo.
Okay.
And I've shown you pictures of me in like hiding in a sea of kids during lunch and made my own Where's Waldo. Like it actually just worked really, really well.
Photo op.
Yeah.
So why is it the worst?
But that was good. The worst. So in that same vein, when they started having like the Spirit of Halloween stores, you can go in and it's always one size fits all. And as someone who's always had larger and smaller body sizes and short, like I always had struggles with this. But I remember shortly after I came out, I was like Halloween in West Hollywood and WeHo was a thing for many, many years. I don't know if it still is. I'm way out of that party scene now.
I know intern Joan told us we're not allowed to do nerd-splaining anymore. I don't know what WeHo means.
West Hollywood. Where all the LGBTQ bars are. Yeah, WeHo. And the Abbey and all that. Like, I went to that a lot in my early 20s and made a point to go to Halloween because I had always heard it's like even bigger than Halloween and Isla Vista at UCSB, which sounds impossible to someone who grew up in Santa Barbara. But I remember I went to one of those like Spirit of Halloween stores and I found a pimp costume. And I dressed in this like purple sparkly pimp costume that didn't quite fit me. So I had to like cut it open and wear a white t-shirt underneath it. And I was hanging out in West Hollywood like I was this cool LGBTQ kid. And really, I was just a nerd kind of standing around going, yeah, so here we are. I think that was the worst costume I ever wore.
My goodness gracious.
Are you calling the egg costume your worst or your favorite as an adult? Do you have a worst?
Worst. Who says my worst? Worst. And the embarrassment continues.
We're going to have to go screenshot that one. Dr. Intern Joan has a job. She's going to go screenshot that and put it on our
I'm sure listener Juliana has already sent it to you. And like, we'll know when listener Juliana listens to this podcast because she's going to send it to us.
Screenshot.
Oh my God.
We have the picture. It's already happened. Yep.
Send in your deep thoughts, nerd questions, or talk nerdy to me subjects that you'd like us to cover by sliding into our DMs, or send those topics into podcast@nerdbestfriends.com.
All right. So we are doing a top 5 for Halloween. We're calling this the Halloween Spookfest. There are no rules because there are no rules. Just anything around Halloween that's your top 5. Rob, did you go in favorite order? Because I don't think I did.
I did. I purposely went 5 to 1. It doesn't really matter. And most of my things, like I mentioned earlier, I kind of hate Halloween. So these are really my favorite October fall things, not necessarily.
Such a buzzkill. Halloween's
It's
fun.
the actual night of Halloween is such a pain in the neck. Anyway.
All Hallows Eve. All right. Well, mine's not necessarily in order, but you're right. I don't know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is what it is. We'll start with number 5. For me, fall weather. Like, you're hitting October, you're hitting that fall weather. And where we grew up, there's not a lot of temperature change, right? We didn't
if
grow
anything,
up in a
it
place...
just gets even more warmer in October.
Yeah. And then it starts getting a little cooler overnight, a little bit mistier in the mornings, a little bit foggier. Like we didn't really grow up around weather change. So then I remember when I was a sophomore in college, and it was the sophomore trip to Oregon to go play University of Oregon. And so we left after rehearsal one night in LA and took that overnight bus. And, people would fall asleep, whatever. I remember waking up to these just beautiful oranges and yellows and just this big scene of trees as we're in Oregon by this point, by the time we wake up from LA, just beautiful. But it really took me living in the Midwest for 4 years to understand fall. And I fell in love with fall even harder than I already loved. I think it was already my favorite season, but there's just something to when there's all of a sudden like a crispness in the air, a crispness in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hoodie weather all of a sudden, and things start smelling like cinnamon, and you go to the fall festivals at the farms and pick the most delicious apples in Michigan, and just fall, everything turns gorgeous. And I will tell you, that happens up here in Northern California, as high up as I am, the top of the state. It is gorgeous. I love the fall. Also, I love football. And those two things just came hand in hand, that it was football season and it's the fall and it's hoodie weather, and I love it so much. And I love living somewhere that gives me fall. Like the trees on my campus are gorgeous right now in October. Just gorgeous oranges and yellows, and it's just so pretty. I love it.
Well, I've never experienced that, but it sounds like an allergy nightmare, so I will take my 75-degree weather and go look at the ocean on the beach. No, but I agree with you. My number 5 is also football, but most, specifically is the fantasy football. I have so much fun. I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues, one with you and our friends, and one with some family members. I have a bunch of cousins, and we always do the cousins league, which is just ridiculous. And I love it. I check, I can't not check it and recheck it and double make sure that somebody's not on the, I'm always on the app and I'm looking, and it's stupid. But I live and die by it every week. And if I'm winning, you're not going to stop hearing about it. And if I'm losing, you're not going to stop hearing about it. It's just this time of year. Honestly, and I do it for the connection. It's fun to have a text group where people are, chatting every weekend. It's really honestly, it's one of the only times I really talk to my extended family and those cousins who all live, all over the place and stuff. It's it'll be real quiet until fantasy football starts. And then all of a sudden we're all chatting again.
And you're all BFFs for a few months.
No. Pure enemy.
Okay, well.
Smackdown.
All right.
No, you're right. You're right. So, fantasy football is my number 5.
This is only my second year doing fantasy football, and I'm still I get why. I get it.
It's fun.
I get why people like it. I'm doing it because it's fun. We bag on each other anyways. This just gives us more reason to bag. But I just like football for football, and
okay.
I don't really care what individual players do outside of amazing individual plays here and there. But yeah, it's interesting. It's mathematical. Maybe that's why I don't like it. It's this whole mathematical, statistical, probable. I don't care that much about it, but I am having fun at least.
That's another way that while we are opposed, I would not watch some random game of football that is not in my city, right? I would not watch a Baltimore versus Arizona game ever. But if I got players, I will. So
but if there's a story behind that, if there's a story or something that's on the hook about that game, or, the number 1 draft pick QB is playing in this game, I want to see how this guy does. If there's a story behind it, I'll watch. But no, I don't have the NFL ticket package to see every single single game. All I care about is watching the 49ers and then anyone who's tangentially related to whether or not the Niners can make the playoffs. That's my deal. Which, by the way, there's like it's not a vintage store here.
Okay.
Who has like a 49ers Letterman's jacket from like 1984 that still has tags on it. It is beautiful, and it's listed at $175, and the guy is willing to sell it to me.
And you don't own it?
$125, he'll sell it to me, and I'm like,
you don't own it? Annalise, I spend $125 at happy hour every Friday. Are you kidding me right now? Go get that jacket.
I really should. It fits me, and it's perfect. And it's
what
got
are you
leather
doing?
Sleeves. I don't know. I don't.
Right out
where am I going to wear
frenzy.
this?
What?
I won't wear it around the house. I won't wear it to work. The only reason why I want to get it,
you're going to spend $125 on that jacket. Then you're going to spend $225 on the glass shadow box case and hang it on the wall in your office. Are you kidding me?
What I want to do is wear it on December 28th. I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast, but I'm going to my very first Finners game, an NFL game,
but what if
in
you
the history of
Joe
ever.
Cheese on it, Annalise? You can't do that.
I'll take the jacket off of me, nacho cheese, but it's going to be winter in the Bay Area. It's December 28th. It's going to be cold. I might need this jacket.
Oh my God. Well, it'll be foggy.
It will be
awesome.
foggy. Anyways. Yeah,
you
anyways.
have to get this jacket, Annalise. That's a ridiculous price. I thought you were going to tell me it costs $1,500.
I probably could sell it on eBay for that much, honestly.
$125? Come on.
Maybe if it's still there, it's meant to be. But
at that price, I'll be surprised.
Number 5, fall weather, football, fantasy football. I think we're kind of on the same page there, best friend. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is, now this one is in the Halloween theme because this is a movie that I remember from when I was a kid, and it would always come on around Halloween time on, the Disney Afternoon or the Wonderful World of Disney or whatever it was. And it is the Disney animated Headless Horseman story of Ichabod Crane.
Good call.
It's so good. It's so
actually
cool.
Scary.
It scared me when I was a little kid. I was scared of it, but I watched it every year and absolutely loved it. And I still do. Like when I see that animation, like especially like the Headless Horseman on his big old horse with the jack-o'-lantern in his head and the sword, I'm like, that's awesome. It's so good.
It's that one and the Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin.
We watched the Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin one a lot because Andrew being little, and then I have my nephew, like that one is definitely on at grandma's house it's like, it's definitely one of those ones I've seen a bunch of times, which is great. I like that one, but mainly I like that one because that's the one that has Snoopy as the World War II flying ace and the Red Baron and all that kind of stuff.
Snoopy
That's the one that has
Red
that
Baron.
one, which is the coolest, right?
Yes.
Good call. Yeah, but like I love watching that. I remember like Andrew was like, oh, well, he's 10 now, so it's not going to be as scary as when I was a kid. Of course, it's not scary to him. It's been a million years and he's seen all kinds of cool stuff. But we watched, he's like, yeah, I guess it was okay. I'm like, what? This is the coolest.
It is so good.
Nah, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm sure he thought it was cool, but I love the Headless Horseman cartoon from Disney. That is Halloween to me.
Good call.
What do you got for your number 4?
Yeah, my number 4 I do love Halloween. I do. And one of my favorite things to do is decorating our like front yard and our porch. Sure. And my partner Sarah really likes it as well. So we don't do the big, like we both think the big blow up things that you just turn on and the air compresses out are just kind of cheap. So we found really cool ways to make it.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. And then you got to store them. Like, we're not into like big giant displays. Although there is like a giant skeleton looks like he's crawling out of your yard. And it's like $250 Costco. It's a little big because what the heck do you do with that thing?
You could buy 2 49ers Leatherman jackets for that.
Exactly. And don't need that big storage. But we we've got some skeleton pieces and we make it look like things are crawling out of gravestones in our front yard. And
really? Oh, that's cool.
Little fog machine. And we set up the front yard really cool. And we have some purple lights that we string where the hooks are for Christmas. So instead of Christmas lights, they're little purple lights and on a timer and everything. I really like decorating the front yard and getting into the Halloween spirit. And we started that in end of September. So
okay, so that makes your house very clearly a house to come to get candy and to trick or treat. So
yeah, it's really big here in Ukiah.
I was going to say, what kind of traffic do you get? Are you spending 2 49ers Leatherman's jackets worth of money on candy that night?
More like one 49ers
okay.
Letterman's jacket. But we do that over time because, Costco's got the big bags for about $20.
Sure.
Oh, starting in like August, we'll buy a bag here, a bag here, a bag here. But we'll like the first year here, we went through like 5 of those Costco bags, and still we're like finding things in our house like pretzels and stuff to give it out at the end. Last year we didn't go through as much. I want to say maybe 4 Costco bags worth, so about $100 worth of candy, which is not too
My
bad.
gosh.
Yeah, but
Now,
it's really popular here.
What's your system? Because around here, one of the reasons I dread Halloween is because I have a reactive dog. So everyone who walks up the driveway, knocks on the door, whatever, sends the dog into a barking like nightmare frenzy, and I hate it. Who does the candy handing out? Who's out doing who's out partying? Who's handing out candy? What are the pets doing? Does your cat escape? What's going on? Because these are the things why I hate about Halloween.
Yeah, actually, okay, so both Sarah and I love Halloween in the same kind of way. So we'll dress up in costumes too. I stayed in one year I stayed in my Where's Waldo, and she wore something else I can't remember. I think last year, we even got a costume for Tilly. We got Tilly a ghost face costume that fits her well. And she does a really good job sitting next to us. She'll stand up and wag her tail when people are coming up, but that gets a little tiring for her even. So she's a little bit older now. She kind of chills. We have a bench that we put across. You've been to our house. So there's like the walkway, and then there's like a step. Right. Mm-hmm. So we put a bench there, and we put Tilly behind us with some water so she can chill and she can like peek her head around the side, but she's not going out to people. And then we sit there with the candy and we give it out. And because
so you're out there ready to go because it's so busy. You're not.
Yeah. So last year we were playing music on our television with like a Halloween slideshow of pictures. And we were playing playlists from like Spotify or from YouTube, scary music with a bunch of LED lights in our house. And we just had the screen door. We had the door open with a screen door so the cat could be there. But the cat hides the entire time. The cat hates people. So she doesn't really do anything. But people come up, and we take our cars out of the driveway. So the driveway's open, and we have stuff like images floating on the garage door and stuff. Like we sit there until the candy's out. When the candy's out, we just put a sign on the bench that says "Sorry, out of candy," and shut out all the lights. And then we watch scary movies. So we sit out there because it's a big community thing here. And right close to us is downtown Ukiah, and all of the businesses. That's where all the little kids start. All of the businesses give out candy, and it's a parade of little kids up and down State Street and School Street. And then they go into the surrounding neighborhoods, and we're one of the surrounding neighborhoods to downtown. So we'll sit out there for a good hour and a half, give out candy. But a couple of poor little freshmen last year, they started walking up the driveway, and then they stopped. And they looked at each other, and I'm like, it's okay. You can come get candy.
Principal.
Yep. And I'm like, yeah, you could see the panic in their eyes. I'm like, no, come get candy. It's okay. And I gave them extra. But yeah, it's a thing here. And it's really nice because I can't remember the last place I lived where it was a thing. Like Santa Barbara has its neighborhoods that kids all hit, but unless you live in that neighborhood, you're not getting trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, no, that's a very different experience from what I have. My experience is, okay, Andrew and Maria are going to be out either trick-or-treating or going to some party or whatever. So I'm in charge of handing out candy to these kids that may or may not show up. So my tradition is like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to like grab a beer and I'm going to watch a hockey game because it's October, or a baseball game. If the Dodgers are in the playoffs, I'll be watching a baseball game. So turn that on, and it'll be like 10 minutes, and then the dog will start going crazy and barking all loud because somebody's walking up the driveway. So I gotta like pause my thing, go, there'll be a kid like, oh, okay, like I gotta grab the dog, I gotta throw him in like the bathroom and slam the door, give some kids some candy, happy Halloween, go back, sit down, let the dog out, turn the game back on. 10 minutes later, the dog goes crazy, like, oh Jesus, throw him in the room or whatever. Like that's the thing, and it's super annoying and I hate it.
Well, because the way your house is, people have to make the decision whether to walk up your driveway to where your door is. I imagine you don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters.
And I do. Well, we used to, when Andrew was little, we would carve pumpkins and do the jack-o'-lantern thing because you got it. Like, that's fun. Sure. Like, I'm not going to, like, yes, I don't like Halloween, but I'm not a monster. We're still going to have a Halloween. So we would have jack-o'-lanterns and stuff out, and we'd put out lights and stuff because it's, it's fun. And so we get more. But like, now that he's like older and gone, I'm like, turn off the lights, shut the fence. I don't want these people coming.
You could just shut your driveway gates
I can
now.
shut the gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow. All right. Well, let's go to number 3. I'll go first for number 3.
Okay.
I think ours are kind of in the same realm, but just in the different ways that we are nerdy. I put the Halloween franchise, obviously, from the 70s, and scary movies, because I love scary movies. I don't love... It's funny, because I like Halloween, but I don't love rashers that have gore for gore's sake. It's got to have a story. make it scary. There's a new Halloween game coming out. I will never play it. It's you roaming around houses that are dark and Michael Myers pops up and like kills you. Like, why am I going to play this game? It's
This is a
already
video
scary
game or
enough.
this is a board
It's a
game? What
video
is this?
game that's coming out. Yeah. They're bringing it out. And I saw a preview of it and I'm never going to watch it. I mean, I'm never going to play it. But I love scary movies. We try to do a scary movie a night for the month of Halloween. They do get kind of old at some point. We're like, let's take a break from it and watch something else. But we watch true crime stuff. We watch things like Dexter, anything that's in that horror genre, true crime realm. We love it and watch it all Halloween and all throughout the year too. So Scream,
All right.
you know, so good.
Very good. Mine is kind of the same. Like Halloween and like spooky time or whatever is just one of those excuses or reasons to go back to some of the stuff that I love, which is H.P. Lovecraft stories. Like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's the cosmic horror, and those kinds of things will come up on social media, and it reminds me how much I do enjoy those stories. I think a couple years ago, for whatever reason, like it really hit me, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I'm gonna learn how to play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game.
Yes.
I did, like a session during October. Every week we did a thing with a little group, and we finished the starter box for the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, which was fun. I think it was last year, Halloween time, inspired me to go look for Lovecraftian comic books adaptations.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I discovered those Ken Watanabe manga comics, and that just blew me away. Honestly, the art that goes into that book, particularly the Shadow over Innsmouth book, if I can't recommend it enough, even to somebody who's like never read a Lovecraft story, it's like, don't read the Lovecraft story. Go get this thing. Well, I've never read like a manga. It's all backward. Don't worry about it. Get it digitally so it'll just bring the frames to you. You don't have to worry about reading backwards or anything. It's so good. Just incredible. And he's done a bunch of those adaptations, and I think he'll keep doing more. Some of my other favorite stories are Color Out of Space, but for whatever reason, there is a story. It's called The Statement of Randolph Carter. And it's one of these, it's a short story, and spoiler for a 100-year-old story. It is a dude giving an account in a police station. Basically, he got arrested in a cemetery because they thought he was body snatching or whatever it was. So he's in jail and he's giving the statement to the police department. And so like, you imagine they're like writing down his statement, taking his statement, and he's very logically talking about like what they were doing there, and they were doing medical research, and that's why they were digging. And when they dug, they found that there was a door and it led into this cave system, but it was very small. So he sent his friend Warren down there, and they had the radio, and it just kind of gets deeper and deeper in like the things that he saw or whatever. And it's a short story, but it ends with him like frantically talking on the radio, like, Warren, what is it? What do you see? What do you see? And the last line of the story is, "You fool, Warren is dead." And that's the end. And it's like, it's so good. It's like this. Yeah, that's how it is. And so it's like this goosebump moment. It's one of my favorite stories. And there is somewhere out there, I don't know who does it. I'm sure I can find it. But like, there's like some semi-professional, like, I don't know, what would you call it? Amateur, like rock band who has a song out there somewhere where the chorus is, "You fool, Warren is dead." I don't know why that came up in my brain, but like it does.
And Scotty doesn't know.
Yes, right. It's just like that, except it's "You fool, Warren is dead. You fool."
How funny.
Kind of making a joke of it or whatever, but that is probably my favorite Lovecraft story, just because of that goosebump moment of like a voice coming on the radio. "You fool, Warren is dead." Also, I've also had Halloweens where it's a good time to go and read your Hellboy comics. Remember, we did a Hellboy episode.
Yes.
Halloween is a great time because, of course, Mike Mignola loves doing his research about folklore and stuff from different countries in America and bringing those kind of horror stories to life with a fun, weird superhero kind of twist on it. So.
Yeah, good call on those. Good call. What about your number two?
Number two. Number two is a fun thing that I've gotten into as well. For whatever reason, this is something in the miniature painting hobby that people do. There's a lot of like, YouTube and social media things for people who are posting about what they're painting, which I love because I find that having that kind of community helps inspire me to keep going with my hobby and paint things. And so in the miniature painting community, there is something called Orktober, where everybody paints up their orcs, or they play games with their orcs. So it's Orktober. Last year, I painted a lot of orcs. I guess that would be last year. I had that subscription set to the Stormbringer, Age of Sigmar subscription set where I was getting miniatures, every month I was getting like some miniatures to paint. And one of the factions in that was the orcs. And so I had a big orc backlog and I'm like, all right, it's Orktober. Let's go, boys. I painted dozens of orcs last year. And sure enough, I've got a bunch of orcs on my painting table right now.
Yeah,
yep. It was like, okay, here's the excuse. All this backlog of orcs. It's going to be Orktober. So, of course, they're still sitting here and it's almost the end of the month. So it might turn into Orc November a little bit, but I can't wait to...
Orktober on Halloween night. Sorry, kids, I'm out of candy.
That's it. Turning off the lights, closing the gate. I got to finish these orcs before the month's over. I'm done with it.
And eating all the candy yourself.
Yep. So Orktober in the miniature painting hobby is a thing, and that is my number 2. How about you?
Orktober. That's such a nerd, and I love it. For me, continuing in the Halloween Spookfest realm, I am a big fan of the 2 or 3 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that delve into Halloween. And it's really funny how they approach Halloween in that, and I don't know if this is the case in any other part of the horror genre, but they purport on the Hellmouth that Halloween's one of the nights that all the spooks and vampires actually just stay home because it's all wild outside. And that would seem opposite of what we would believe. Like they would be out and about because they could hide in plain sight a little bit more. But the way Joss Whedon had them approach it is that like this is the night everyone kind of stays in because it's dumb.
I love that, and I love it because we always have the thing about like the Hellmouth is Santa Barbara, and that is Santa Barbara during fiestas. All the locals stay home.
All the locals stay home, and like same idea there. But the first season, the episode of Halloween is one where is it the first season? It might be the second season. The first time they approach Halloween is in the second season. What is his name? Ooh, I'm blanking on names. Rupert's friend, Giles's friend, and his name is escaping me. Yeah, the guy that keeps coming back a couple times and sparks up mischief each time. Oh, no. Oh, how am I forgetting his name? Holy cow.
Like Wesley?
Ethan Rain. Ethan Rain is his name. This is the first appearance of Ethan Rain, who knows the Ripper from back in their days in England.
Okay.
Ethan Rain creates a Halloween costume shop in which the costumes are enchanted. People become the costumes that they wear. So this one, Buffy's wearing this like 19th century gown to impress Angel because that's when he was like alive and stuff, and she becomes a damsel in distress, kind of clueless about everything, and Xander's dressed as
sexy nurse.
I mean, who knows what would have happened, but Xander wears a military costume, so he becomes military knowledgeable, and these things spark a bunch of references throughout the rest of the series. So that episode itself is really great. And the other couple of Halloween episodes they have after that, there's one in I think season 4 when they're in college. That's really funny. But Halloween episodes of Buffy. Okay. Should be no surprise that I bring Buffy up, but I really
So from
love
season 2, they did one every year after that?
No, it wasn't constant. They did like 3 total, I believe. It wasn't every Halloween, but they did like 3. Yeah. Especially last season when it's all death and doom. They definitely did not do a Halloween episode.
Yeah, that would have been a wild choice.
Yeah. And then season 6, when she came back from the dead, they didn't really celebrate Halloween.
Makes sense.
So we're on our number 1s, Rob. Number 1.
Number 1 is a tradition we have had for years and years now, and it is to play the Castle Ravenloft board game.
Yes. Good call.
I love the Castle Ravenloft board game. It's one of those things I've talked a million times. My favorite character in all of Dungeons & Dragons is Count Strahd von Zarovich, and he had the Castle Ravenloft box set with the adventure back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was a kid, and I bought the board game. It's a little miniature dungeon crawler board game, and I had been listening to, some podcast or YouTube video, and the guy was saying, like, every year he runs a Curse of Strahd or like Castle Ravenloft D&D adventure, and he'll bring his friends over, they'll play for 3 hours, and what he does is he has like sand timers to be like, okay, at this time, Strahd shows up, no matter where you are exploring the castle. Basically,
Wow,
he's
okay.
got like the giant mega dungeon of the castle. It's like, okay, the adventurers come in, you bring your plucky group of adventurers that are going to try to slay the vampire, and you start, and they can go wherever they want for however long it takes. But at, whatever it is, like 9:30 p.m., Strahd's going to pop in there and you're going to have to fight him. So it's the idea of like running around and trying to get the good treasure, or like, where's this and what's that and kind of thing, or just survive so you have enough hit points and spells by the time Strahd gets there. And I was like, oh, that sounds really fun. Could I do something like that? And it's like, well, maybe I could. But I also have this board game, and it's got all of the little cardboard pieces and all that kind of stuff, and it's got the minis. So I made sure to go through and I've painted all of the minis in the game. And then I cobbled together a bunch of sets of 3D dungeon tile files, and I went through and I printed every little card of the dungeon that you can add to, and they live in this big like Rubbermaid bin, and they're all labeled and they're all painted and stuff. And so we can play that game every Halloween time, every October, with the 3D tiles and the painted minis. And it's one of those things like, this year, are we going to defeat Strahd? And there's been years where we definitely have not. So it does feel good where it's like, okay, this is the year we're going to get him, and we are, won't we?
Yeah.
It's also cool because it's a 2-part adventure. So the first one you play, there's like a mini boss before you get to Strahd, and that's randomly generated. So every year you can fight a different mini boss into the lower dungeon where you then go and fight Strahd. It's really cool. I look forward to it every year.
Yeah, it was fun. The handful of years I lived there, and we did it every October. You had me join in and then I think from that you learned that the 4-player game is enormously much more helpful. And I think I came back at least one October, if not two. And then I know last year I think you had listener Juliana come and take one of the places or something, which is cool because the 4-player game was definitely more powerful. And I love the randomization of it. I also love that you don't know when you're going to face Strahd. Strahd is also random. You could be super hurt and then he pops up, or I think one of the years we played, he came up real quick, and that was that made it easier to defeat him. But man, that's a good call. And the 3D printing for those tiles is genius.
Mm-hmm. So we recorded a little bit early, but we are going to play Halloween weekend this year, upcoming.
Yes.
If you remember, I'll have to let you know.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear it. Got to see if you beat Strahd this year. For me, for number one, I just put something that my family did not. I think we're untraditional Mexican family, so we did not celebrate Dia de los Muertos a lot as I was growing up. I can also comfortably say that's also because I had a for most of my childhood until I was a teenager, we were thankfully, luckily devoid of really major tragedy in my family until I was like a sophomore in high school. I know I had an uncle who passed away when I was really little, but my family just didn't do the altar. We didn't really talk about it growing up. And so as I've gotten older and as my elders have started to pass away and stuff, I know my sister does an altar every year now. I've learned a lot more. I have yet to do a complete altar. Like I have all the pieces, and each year, like, I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to do it this year. I haven't done it yet this year, but I have the pictures assembled. Like but I do love seeing and learning more about that culture within my ancestry. Dia de los Muertos is really huge here in Ukiah. So we do a display at our high school campus, and we have people and guests come do performances, and our world language department does a sugar skull decorating and learning about the culture there. I have loved more in my adult years now, learning more about the culture, and one day I'll put my own altar together. But
that is awesome. And I hope you do. And I'm happy that it's, something more prevalent where you are now. We are the stories we tell, right? Yeah. And so having that, like the thing that I think is really cool about Dia de los Muertos is it gives you that excuse or that reason to tell those stories about your loved ones and people, especially to our younger family members who maybe don't remember them so well. It's a great reason to tell those fun stories and understand who those people were, because that helps give context to where you came from and who you are as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really cool holiday that, the United States has nothing like it.
Right. It's a really unique way to continue to pay homage to your ancestors, and really unique way to do it. And I really appreciate like I said, I appreciate learning more about that cultural history behind it as I've become older. Dia de los Muertos is also a really fun part of October.
That is a very good number one. Annalise, that's our list.
You know what neither of us talked about?
What's that?
Oktoberfest, which is really in September, but
Yeah, I guess I don't really think about that.
When I drank beer more often, Oktoberfest beers and like those good German, like go to a good German Oktoberfest in the States, because someday I'll go to the one in Germany.
Yeah.
That's actually in September. But yeah, like that was a thing. Not on my list.
Now that is something.
Fun.
Now that is something we could hear about from a Midwest person or whatever. Like out here, it's a joke, right? They'll call it Oktoberfest, which is really just an excuse to advertise and get people in their breweries.
Yeah, you're drinking Sam Adams Oktoberfest, but not like a good German.
But if we were in like Wisconsin or wherever, or Kansas, where there's like an old school German, immigrant population that was there, I bet even in the United States it's pretty lit.
In Toledo, when I lived there for 4 years, there was the German American Club that existed, and they hosted a giant German fest, Oktoberfest in October, where they would, I can't remember if it was end of September, beginning of October. But they would host a really big one in Toledo where they would actually bring over imported barrels of German beer. So good. That Oktoberfest beer, like from Germany, is so good. But yeah, it doesn't get cold enough here for us to appreciate it on the West Coast.
That could be the thing. That might have a big thing to do with it. And I just don't think we have the population there. We don't have that big German American population.
Very, very true.
We didn't talk about pumpkin spice lattes either, but I don't think
I think we're both good there.
Yep.
Pumpkin spice everything. No, thank you.
Like,
and
great.
No offense to our listeners who love it, but I don't think it's a thing for either of us.
Oh, great. Everything tastes like walking into the craft store. Cool.
That's beautiful. Rob, it's October. We got spooky with our lists. Now get spooky. Tell me, what's the nerdiest thing you did this week?
So speaking of spooky, it has been a good few months since we did the Goblin Argle Bargle, which we had a really good time doing that. And so I've been kind of looking for what's the next game? So I didn't have to go far. Snarling Badger Studios also produces a game called Reign in Hell. And it is a miniatures agnostic game where you make a demon cabal. What I like about it is it's very limited. It's like there's 4 kind of philosophies. You kind of pick your team from 4 teams, and every single one is you have a leader, you have like their lieutenant, which is like the big scary guy, and then you choose from an array of maybe 6 different types of soldiers. Like you can't have more than 10 dudes, and that's kind of it. So anything can be a demon cabal. So I've got orcs sitting here, like I can make it like there's a leader guy, there's a big tough guy, and there's a bunch of other dudes. That's a cabal. You got your whatever. Maria's got these awesome like tree ghost spirit miniatures, and it's like, oh, there's a leader guy, that's a big tough guy, and there's the other soldiers, and you just kind of go through and do that, looking at all the stuff that I've had and be like, oh yeah, I could pull that and that and that and that, and okay, let's go play for it's a pretty quick game, an hour.
Okay.
Or so once you get set up. Yeah, I've been doing anything can be a demon cabal. I've got knights in shining armor. I've got little like Asian inspired Oni dudes. I've got the orcs. I've got whatever. Like it's just a cool looking leader dude, a cool looking big tough dude, and some soldiers, and you're good to go. So for somebody like me that has like all of these minis I've painted, and it's like, okay, well, I played that game, so now they're sitting in the cupboard for months. It's like, oh no, wait, I could grab those and they could be a cabal. Let's put them on the table and see how cool they look and stuff like that.
How fun.
So, yeah, having fun with Reign in Hell.
Another great one from Snarling Badger Studios.
Yeah. Annalise, what's the nerdiest thing you did this week?
So I did a thing, and I am returning back to the Girls Just Wanna weekend in Cancun with Dr. Intern Joan and some of our college friends, and sticker exchange is really big there. And I had made some stickers, and I'll show the first one. Last year when I went, I had made some stickers, Girls Just Wanna 6, and I've got Nerd Best Friends on it and our websites on it, and they arrived when I was in Mexico. So I have 100
The great
of
story
these.
of the undistributed Nerd Best Friend stickers.
So I'll take these, or I was actually planning on, if I didn't go, I'd give them to Joan just to give them out. But I decided I'm not going to mess up. And it's super early because it's October, but I already designed, ordered, and now have received the sticker for Girls Just Want a Weekend 7. And here is, I don't know if we're going to show a picture for a debut, but here's a debut for Rob to see.
Oh, that's dope.
I am
Great
super
job.
happy with it. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. This is a 3-inch sticker. I probably wanted a 2-inch sticker, but I decided the shape of the number 7 for a couple of reasons. One, because it's the 7th year that they're doing this big music festival. 2, 7 is my lucky number. So I was like really trying to make a point to go to this one this year. And I might have to take a break next year and kind of recoup my finances, but I wanted to go this year. So the sticker itself is in the shape of 7. The top says Nerd Best Friends. And then at the bottom of the 7 says Loves, Girls Just Want a Weekend. And then there's just a little image of 2 people. And Joan was like, is that you and me? And I'm like, well, we're telling people it's you and me now. And there's a little beach behind them. And my favorite is the floating palm tree up here in the corner, just kind of floating in the air, but it's okay.
It's not on the water line. It's not on the water line. It's just floating in the sky.
Floating up there.
Amazing.
Floating palm tree. But this sticker came out really good. I received it this week. Looking at these and nerding out about how I'm going to give them out. I have my sticker collection that I got from last year sitting right here, actually, because people really go all out for this. Let's see. Dr. Intern Joan, who loves tarot cards. She made a tarot card last year, and she's making a new one this year. Okay. And then you got some people that just make, that's Girls Just Want a Weekend. I don't know who gave that to me. I don't remember. It was 90s theme. I think I showed you this one before, like the 90s, like swishy kind of jacket.
Windbreaker that's all turquoise.
Little windbreaker. Then you got this.
Yeah.
With a VHS tape. So the sticker thing, I don't know what to do with these stickers. I don't have anything to put them on that I carry around. And then I got this little badge that says first timer last year. I didn't put my name on it. I didn't wear it, obviously, but the sticker exchange is huge. And so I'm looking forward to taking this number 7 sticker and seeing how many other people came up with that idea when we go in January. So nerdiest thing I did this week.
It's all 7s. You just put them through and it looks like you hit the jackpot.
Heck yes.
7s across the board.
That's the nerdiest thing I did this week.
All right. Well, go take both of those sticker packs and put them in your suitcase right now.
I mean, I got a couple other things to do before that trip, so I will not forget them. They're on the packing list.
Excellent. Excellent.
Next week on Nerd Best Friends, it's our annual nerd check-in. What are you doing? Catch up with your nerd best friends and all the hobbies they're doing, and then share some of your own. Before you go, hit that follow or subscribe button. And drop us a 5-star rating. If you're feeling the nerd love, find us on social media at Nerd Best Friends or email us at podcast@nerdbestfriends.com. Help grow the nerd herd and keep this geeky goodness rolling. Okay, Rob, Halloween's in 2 days, so I hope you figure out your orcs, and I also hope that you at least get to enjoy the night.
Yep, I guess I gotta go buy a bag of candy. Thank you for getting me excited and not so grumpy about Halloween. We definitely celebrated this episode, so I'm a little more excited about it.
Right on. Well, happy Halloween, nerds. Stay safe, be good, get lots of candy, and share pictures from your Halloween. Show us your kids. Show us your kids' costumes.
Oh my gosh, your nerdy costumes. What were you for Halloween? Yes. Let's see.
Share with us. We'd love to see. And in the meantime, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.